Dark by Design may contain graphic and/or explicit content. Audience discretion is advised.
Hey. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
That's good. And hello and welcome. I'm Bev.
And I'm Rachel.
And you're listening to Dark by Design, the podcast where two creative gals share stories of the macabre to then pick them apart before the nightmares start. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy past Halloween.
Gosh, I know. I know the festive season is over and now we're going into the Yuletide season. And I'm kind of sad. It's always spooky season in my house, but
yes,
you know.
Same. Christmas be damned. I prefer Halloween 100%.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't like snow or the winter.
Yeah,
and fall is my favorite season. So
yeah, it's that nice in between. You're not dying and sticky and horrible like in the summer, and you're not freezing your tits off like you are in the winter. Like fall, and then spring is just too wet. Like fall is that nice where it's just like that crisp air and.
Finally the jacket, the sweater weather we've been waiting for after like the 100-degree plus weather. Yeah. Of the summer. Oh man, fall's the best. I absolutely adore it.
It's just so nice. It's so nice. Man, I really don't want winter. And then just also with like Thanksgiving, does your family do that thing where everyone gets all like dressed up and just sits around?
Oh,
well, no,
I used to. And then we kind of relaxed.
I spent a Thanksgiving with your mom. Hi, Mama Val.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. That was great. Fun. That was a fun Thanksgiving.
Yeah, she was in the let me put Fireball in my coffee phase of her life.
She put Fireball in my coffee.
Yeah. She bless her soul. Yeah.
No,
it was really fun.
She put Irish something.
Oh, Irish cream liqueur or something like that. Bailey's? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bailey's.
Yeah, Mama Val knows how to party. Yeah. Oh, when the holidays are around, she'll hook you up.
She's a blast. I love her. If anyone somehow ever gets to meet Mama Val, we told you so.
She's a festive woman.
She's amazing. She's so much fun. She knows how to party.
Yeah. She's a peach. Yeah, her and I are going to go out on this upcoming weekend to go celebrate my birthday, which, oh gosh, I don't want to be that person, but hi, I'm 30 now, which is really weird to say. So now with my 1 week of more wisdom, I feel more wiser, admittedly. I feel great. And yeah, I mean, I feel kind of the same like I did when I was 29.
You're 30, flirty, and thriving. Is that what
exactly? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm actually really excited for my 30s. I'm ready to tackle it. There's so many people that were like, "Oh my God, you're turning 30. Aren't you terrified?" And I'm like, "No." And I like my gray hairs. Thank you.
Yes.
So, take that.
Yes. I have like a little streak going on somewhere in the back. So when I put my ponytail up, Jacob was like, "You have like a couple of hairs that I'm like, just leave them."
Don't tell me.
I want to look like the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yo,
admittedly, so when I put my hair up, I really want to like bleach 2 streaks here. So when I put the hair up, it's like 2 little streaks going up, you know? And when my hair's down, you can see the streaks in the middle.
Ooh.
But I saw it on TikTok once. I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that so bad.
Yes. Oh, 100% do it. I love messing with my hair. I'm like, I know I just like dyed my hair back to like my natural hair color. Instead, I took a vow saying that I would never touch my hair again with bleach, but I'm thinking about touching my hair with bleach again. So
you're fiending for the bleach.
I am. So maybe sometime soon you'll see both of us with various streaks of blonde in your hair. It's never too late. Yeah, just never never take a vow against bleach. It's a fun thing as long as you know what you're doing.
I mean, your hair grows out anyway, like might as well have fun with it, you know?
Yeah, just try not to burn all of it off at one time.
Exactly. Go in stages.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. We're not hair professionals. I only bleach my hair with like a professional's help. So thank you.
Yes, get a hairfessional. Is that what they're called?
Oh, they are now. Yeah.
Hairstylist be damned. You're a hair professional.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're welcome.
if you would like to learn more, either about bleach or not, you can find more information, photos, and videos on today's topic on the show's website at www.darkbydesignpodcast.com, or by following us on our socials at Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok at darkbydesign_podcast. Also linked in the description below. You can also find us individually on our socials. Rachel is at Miss Quirk with 2 Ks, and she is on Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. She streams on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's a new schedule.
Yes. And yes. I am kind of also going on a hiatus for a couple months.
Oh, okay. She will be on a hiatus for a couple months, but maybe you'll catch a quick little stream somewhere in between if she's feeling up for it. So definitely follow her, because you might see her little notification pop up and it's just like Christmas all over again. So
you're welcome.
You're welcome. And then I am on Instagram, sometimes Twitch, and on YouTube at Beverlocks with 2 S's. And both of our socials will be linked down here and also in the description below. And there's so many ways to support the show and us as content creators. So the number one way is telling people, so either your friends, your families, that stranger on the street that you just met, just tell them about us. Word of mouth will really help the show grow. And it will give us more opportunities to make fun things in the future, which we really want to do. We have so many things planned. So many things. It's like overwhelming and exciting at the same time.
Dude, I know. I'm like, where do we even start? Where do we begin? But hey, we're figuring it out. And are we building like an empire for you guys? I'm just kidding. But like, there's so many great things in the works. But maybe we are trying to plan an empire. Okay, maybe we want a folklore empire. Maybe I want to build my life and career. Exactly. I want to build my career in fairy tales. Okay, maybe just let a girl do what she wants. Thank you.
Yes. She has great ideas. You should see her little noggin. It's so good. It's so wrinkly.
Big brain, I know.
Big brain. Very big brain. But yeah, watch us and help us grow our empire one technical difficulty at a time. I think we finally tackled the audio issues and I'm crossing my fingers.
I know. Thank God for your big wrinkly brain, because I don't know where the heck to go for any of this. So without you, I don't know what we would be.
And it's just been a whole lot of trial and error.
Yeah, God bless. Yeah, but you know what? We're still laughing. Yeah.
True. And thank you for listening, you guys. Like, I know it's been rough on your ears, but it's just going to get better from here. But if you're listening, I'm sorry. I skipped something. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on other platforms, rate us 5 stars. And let's see. Tell us about your worst college roommate.
Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Oh, how fun. How juicy. Yes, please tell us about it. Sure.
Yep. Okay. Can you bleep her name? Her name was so she sounds like the devil spawn. Fucking
okay.
So rude. She was the rudest. She would always scream at her mom for not letting her buy like $500 worth of groceries each week. She would scream at her mom when her mom would call her and ask her to stop maxing out the credit card with her Abercrombie and Fitch shopping sprees. And then once I was in my room, literally in my room with the door closed, and I was listening to Miley Cyrus, like right after she went rogue. I mean, she can do whatever she wants. She didn't technically go rogue, but you know what I mean. When she did like the twerking mold on stage. Yeah. With with that rapey guy. Yeah. I don't know his name. He's that guy that had like that Between the Lines song. Very rapey.
Yeah, I forget what his name is actually.
Mm-hmm. But she opened my door and she starts screaming at me about how Miley Cyrus is a bitch and a whore and a slut, and how basically went on this huge tangent about first of all, the way my parents raised me was obviously horrible because I ended up liking Miley Cyrus. And then she told me that Miley Cyrus is perpetuating Black people being gangsters and impoverished. And I was like, what?
What a tale.
How did you link that?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I just kept ignoring her, and I was like, okay, whatever, like, can you just leave my room? And then she threw the remote control at my head. I was like, cool. And then this bitch always ate like all the food I would cook. I was so poor in college, I would have to like split a pizza throughout the week. Like, that's how poor I was. So every once in a while, and like, mind you, I was working 3 jobs, but I had to pay my college tuition and shit, and like my rent. Shout out to my mom for helping me, but dear God, college was expensive.
For sure.
But there was once where I finally got the chance to make chicken Alfredo, and I was just, it was so good. And I had a plate, and I put the rest of it in the fridge on my shelf. And Miss, please bleep her name out again, ate my chicken Alfredo.
All of it?
So rude. She ate all of it. The entire fucking pot. I was like, cool. I hate you. So I moved out the next year, and I lived with 3 guys. And not to be like one of those people that's like, I only have friends that are guys, because clearly Exhibit A, that's not true. Okay. But if you can get college roommates that are guys, they are so much easier to live with. They don't eat your chicken Alfredo or throw remote controls at your head.
Holy moly, that's awful. Holy shit.
She sucked.
Wow. Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever had that shitty of an experience with a roommate. I had a couple that in my freshman year that just partied all the time. And I was too big of a nerd that I would just stay out super late. They thought I was like a big partier, but it turned out I was just hanging out with all of my friends studying till like 4 a.m. and just like hanging out. But
that's the best kind. It's productive, and you get to bounce ideas off of each other.
Exactly. And they thought I was just like this like big wild partier, and I would come back at like 6 a.m. and then wake up and go to class at
They're like, how
8.
do you
but it was just like
good grades. You're like,
exactly. I'm like, well, maybe you should just party like I do. Yeah, and it's just be my friends that are sweatpants shooting the shit in the study room in the library. Like, that's all we did. But that was fun. I also moved out of the room early because they just like trashed the room that we were in, and I didn't want to be held responsible for cleaning it, so I moved into I said I was moving out early, but I in fact moved into a friend's dorm room, like a building down the street.
Were you in the mattress on the floor? No,
this was in
okay, never mind. Okay.
Yeah
okay,
but
college was fun. Roommates suck, but if you tell us about your worst roommate story, we'll thank you on air, and we'll give you a lovely compliment right back, and we'll tell you how you would have been the greatest roommate to ever live. And we've also launched a Patreon. If you sign up, if you sign up for our Patreon, you get a bunch of amazing goodies goodies and extras starting at the $5 level, including a thank you sticker in print, early access to extended episodes, and downloadable coloring pages that you'll absolutely love. All Patreon levels also have special access to our Discord, where we can all play games and watch movies and just talk the night away. Yay, friendship! And supporting us on Patreon really helps us offset the cost of hosting and making the show, because we record and edit our own episodes, we edit our own website, we keep up our social medias. Granted, it has not been kept up lately. I'm very sorry. There will be stuff this week. But
you're good.
Your support really means the absolute world to us. And you know what? Even if you can't support monetarily, just dropping us those likes on YouTube, those listens, those follows on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the ratings, all of that helps.
Yes.
Thank you.
Enormously.
Yes.
And thank you for your support thus far.
Yes.
We are just, again, still just blown out of the water by everyone and everyone listening. So thank you for being you, and keep up the good work, champ. Because you're amazing. Thank you. Wow. Quite honored. Thank you.
Absolutely blown out of the water. But
it's so cool.
You know what else will blow us out of the water?
What's up?
This episode.
Oh my God, I know. Are you ready?
I'm pumped. I saw the title, and the only thing I know about this man is he's from Romania, maybe?
Yeah.
And he likes to kill people.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But I'm very excited to get into like the actual history because I really like the history. So,
good.
Without further ado, Rachel, take it away.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you, dear Beverly. I appreciate it. Yes, today I have a fantastic historical report for y'all. And today we're going to learn about Dracula, the true story of Dracula. So, Vlad III, commonly known as Vlad the Impaler, was a wild son of a bitch, to say the least. He was he's a fun guy. He was the ruler of Wallachia or Wallachia. I forget how you say it. Wallachia. Thank you. Because I keep pronouncing it like they did in the Castlevania video game series.
Wallachia?
And Wallachia.
Well, that's because they're English, right? They pronounce things. I'm sorry, English people. They pronounce things weird.
I'm not quite sure.
Wallachia.
It might just been a translation issue too, because it was a Japanese game.
Oh.
At first. So, moral of the story. So, if I call it Wallachia, don't make fun of me. It's from the video game Castlevania series. So, thank you very much. But Wallachia, right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I could be completely wrong. Let's just go
with
Wallachia.
We're trying our best. Yeah. So, no, I think it's Wallachia because I did translate it and it's a hard. Anyway, moral of the story. I believe you're correct. So he was the ruler of Wallachia 3 times between 1448 and his death in 1477. While most people know him as the inspiration for Dracula or from his pointed forms of torture, he is often considered one of the most important rulers in Wallachian history and a national hero in Romania.
A hero?
Yeah, turns out.
Okay, I want to know more.
Yeah. I was like, get ready, because I was like, how do you go from being known as Vlad the Impaler to being also a national hero? Yeah, it feels like it's a very contrasting.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean he's a very divisive person, and we'll get into it. You'll find out.
Okay.
So starting off, Vlad was born in November or December of 1431 in the northern Romanian state of Wallachia, which is southeast of Transylvania.
Is he a Scorpio?
If you're looking at it. I'm thinking actually there's a possibility that Vlad the Impaler might be a Scorpio. And I would just like to state, and I would like to state for the record that I don't agree with his methods or forms of torture. I'm just saying that, kind of, I get it. Like, at times when he had to drop the mic, and he dropped the mic multiple times in, like, the most perfect manner, and we'll get into it. But, he was super brutal, but as a fellow Scorpio, I respect it.
As a Scorpio rising, I respect it, too.
Yeah, man, he was brutal. He was the second son of Vlad Dracul II, the future ruler of Wallachia. After Vlad's birth, his father joined the Order of the Dragon, giving him the last name Dracul. And in 1436, he became the ruler of Wallachia, which I keep saying Wallachia, whatever.
Are they Targaryens?
I don't know, but I'm assuming Game of Thrones just
pulled from them, probably.
Maybe, or just like human history is full of like wild backstabbing, crazy stories. So I would not be surprised.
This is that is so cool. Please keep going. I'll stop interrupting.
No worries. Yeah, and just for a little etymology, speaking of dragons, Dracul in the 1400s in Romania translated to dragon. So Papa Vlad Sr. was Dracul, he was the dragon, and so Vlad Dracula meant Vlad the son of the dragon. So Dracula means son of the dragon.
Mm.
But in modern times, Dracul now means devil. So how fun.
That makes sense. Yeah. So
Okay.
Dracul back then equals dragon. Dracul today equals devil. So
Yes.
Draculia back then equals son of the dragon. Draculia today, son of the devil.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
This is
you.
enthralling.
I
And I will
appreciate it.
stop
Oh, we haven't even
interrupting you. I promise.
Oh, it's good. It's good. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. So in 1436, when Papa Vlad Sr. came into power, he took Vlad and his youngest brother Radu with him to live in the capital city. The boys were educated by Greek and Roman scholars from Constantinople, as well as combat skills and military strategies. Vlad learned the fundamentals of math, science, reading, writing, and geography, and he was also taught Romanian, German, Latin, and Old Church Slavic. So he was a highly educated young man.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky.
Especially for
English.
that time period. Yeah, I know. And it's like he was a highly educated, especially for that time period where, I mean, education was
not important.
Yeah. Was like there was no public form of education at all. It was only set for the rich and like the noble families, which was insane. Vlad and his family of dragons lived a very comfortable life given the time period. Speaking of dragons, the Order of Dragons, which Papa Vlad Sr. was a part of, was dedicated to defending Christians and their lands from the Turks. The Turks were from the Ottoman Empire. So the Christian Empire and the Ottoman Empire were at odds together. Ottoman Empire was practiced Islam, so there was also religious war. It was a huge struggle for power at the time. So the two empires did not get along at all in the least bit. And we're talking about the Middle Ages, baby. And if you know anything about the Middle Ages, which if you listen to our episodes on the Freemasons and the Marranos, boy howdy did shit get rowdy during this time period. Yeah. The situation essentially was this. Two drastically different neighboring cultures hated each other bitterly and were constantly fighting to overthrow each other. It was a great time to be alive. I'm just kidding. I would have hated it. Never wanted to be there.
Just
it was awful.
This is what I'm imagining Assassin's Creed is like, where people are just killing each other left and right. You know?
Yeah. It's just a lawless land. What's up?
Ubisoft, if you're listening, please make an Assassin's Creed during Transylvanian Vlad the Impaler times. Thank you. Okay.
That would be sick. Oh my god, that would be awesome. Think about it. Oh,
think about it.
I would love to hear about it. I just want to explore history.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking of your favorite fantasy TV shows, life was like some Game of Thrones type of shit for these folks. Territory disputes, backstabbing, violent overthrows, family name and honor meant everything to the Draculs, and, by oath, their main goal was to defend the boundaries of the Christian Empire at all cost. This was the goal of the Dracula household. It was drilled into the kids from day one out of utero. You defend your family, you defend your honor, and you defend your country. Keep this in mind as we learn more about dear old Devil Dragon Boy.
Damn.
Yeah, it gets intense.
So, defending honor at all costs. Ooh, I'm excited.
I know. Okay. Oh, for sure. Yeah, people make really bad people make really bad choices because of their damaged egos. It's really funny. Mm-hmm.
Good old humanity.
Oh, I know. It's just a pissing contest, and it's quite funny.
It's a dick measuring contest for sure.
Yeah. So, in order to regain the throne, speaking of which, in order to regain the throne of Wallachia, Papa Vlad Sr. built an alliance with the Ottoman Sultan, who agreed to help him if and only if Papa Vlad agreed to pay tribute to the Sultan Mehmed II by leaving his two youngest sons, Vlad and Radu, at the Ottoman court to guarantee his loyalty. With no choice, Papa Vlad handed over his boys to the Turks. And you would say, why would you make such a deal with your enemies? Weren't you supposed to, weren't you part of, the Order of the Dragon who's supposed to hate the Turks? And why would you ask them to help you gain power back to the throne? just backstabbing was very common in those times, and people just wanted to get to power at all costs. So sometimes you have to make a deal with your enemy in order to do that.
That also reminds me of Game of Thrones, because Ned Stark, for example, he took in what's his name? Reek? I forgot his real name.
Yeah.
But he took him in after they beat his dad at like some type of battle, and it was basically as a ward, I think, right? Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to like help maintain power in the realm. Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, to help like maintain peace, because we're gonna like hold your kids hostage essentially, so you can't,
can't
so
fuck
you'll
up.
Behave
unless you don't love your kids, which in some cases they don't.
Right? They're like, you are expendable. Thank you so much. Have a great time.
Goodbye. I'll make more.
Yeah. But in this case, when I was expecting them to kind of be treated poorly, they actually weren't, which was kind of shocking. So the Ottoman Empire was just as brutal as the Christian Empire. Though they were relatively well treated, the boys observed the Turks as they used power as a way to achieve their end goals. Vlad knew some of these methods personally. Radu, possibly due to his age, was more willing to follow the Turkish customs and embraced his new life, eventually converting to Islam and serving on the Ottoman court. Vlad, however, was the complete opposite. He refused to give up on their family name and honor, which led to various punishments and beatings. Though they were kind of like prisoners, they were also like family. Guests of the empire also. Yeah, family. No, they were, but they had to be treated well, because if they weren't, that I guess that was also a way to like spark war between the clans as well, because the Turks promised not to hurt his sons, and if they do, then that would upset the kingdoms, and then that breaks the pact. So
I'm sorry, Radu is giving up his customs, right? Like, does that break that honor and tradition and blah 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 for the Dracul, for like the Draculs, the family?
Yeah.
Are you gonna get into that?
Also, I am.
Shoot. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
We're gonna get into it too. No, it's okay. Well, like another reasoning to have your enemy's kids brought into your kingdom is a way to essentially brainwash them to become your ally. And unfortunately, that's what happened with Vlad's youngest brother, Radu, but not to Vlad.
Shit.
Yeah. Which, it happens, but it's very interesting how everything settles out. But during this time period, the boys did learn logic, teachings from the Quran, the Turkish language, horsemanship, and warfare.
Okay.
So they were treated really well and highly educated, most likely to brainwash them and to have them come onto their side, which we'll see how that comes into play later on in the story. It's quite fun. The Turk support, however, did not help Papa Vlad Sr. In 1447, the Hungarian troops forced Papa Vlad and his eldest son, Masir II, to flee the kingdom of Wallachia. Both were eventually captured and put to death, being buried alive, leaving Vlad in line for the throne.
What?
Yeah.
Those fucking Hungarians. What the hell?
Dude, it was brutal back then. It's like one moment they're your friends and the next they're burying you alive. Yeah, that's just how it was.
I feel like they had to be part of that quote-unquote Christian empire, right?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, everyone signed the document saying we're friends, and they still had knives ready. It's insane.
That's wild. That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. With Papa Vlad dead, the Ottomans and Vlad were forced to flee to Moldavia. He lived there for 3 years under his uncle Prince Bogdan II's protection until 1451, when his uncle was assassinated, thus forcing Vlad to flee yet again.
Shit.
This time, he had a friend. Yeah. This time, he had a friend, his cousin Prince Stephen. The two Vlads fled to Transylvania, where they came under the mentorship of a Hungarian warrior named John Hunyadi. Which is funny. Vlad's father and brother were killed by, the Hungarian warriors. Yet, Vlad decided to mentor under one. Isn't that funny?
That's very funny.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Is Stephen gonna die?
No, actually,
Okay.
it's kind of no. The weird thing about the situation is that this is the same man who ordered the death of your brother and father.
Oh,
and
shit!
Yeah. That's right. John Hunyadi was the regent governor of Hungary in 1447 and was the person responsible for his family's demise. Yeah. So why the hell would Vlad side with such a man?
Yeah.
2 words. Sweet revenge.
Oh.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, shit. All right. I'm into it.
Yeah. So Vlad respected John for 3 reasons. John was a powerful warrior. John was also fiercely opposed to the Ottoman Empire. And John also hated the new ruler of Wallachia, Vladislav II. Vladislav II was Vlad's cousin who took the throne after Papa Vlad Sr. was buried before he was blue.
So Vlad and Vladislav.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah, there's a lot of repainting names.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fun. So John Hunyadi was friends with Vladislav II. And in fact, helped Vladislav II take the throne.
Okay.
Their friendship ended, however, when Vladislav became too lenient with the Turks and ordered the burning of several Transylvanian villages. Yeah, so John Hunyadi, just like Vlad, wanted revenge. So Vlad and John paired up and made their way to Wallachia.
Okay.
Vlad's quest to return to power was more dire than originally planned. In 1453, the same year John and Vlad teamed up, the Turks took over the Holy Roman city of Constantinople. Constantinople, I don't know how you say it, but securing Wallachia meant preventing the Ottoman Empire from taking over Europe. In 1456, Vlad marched to Wallachia and said, "Nah, this is my house," killed Vladislav II dead in hand-to-hand combat, and then hooked his cousin up by taking back Moldavia and giving it to his cousin Stephen to rule.
By hand-to-hand combat, do you mean punching him to death or like swords?
Oh, for swords, yeah. They marched their own armies up and just wiped them clean. They
I thought
Vladislav
he was
never stood a chance.
Oh,
for sure.
Hand-to-hand combat, but okay, that makes more sense.
For sure. Yeah,
Yep.
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, he just marched right up and they just whooped ass and took over the kingdom very quickly without everyone really understanding it. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Which also is a common theme with Vlad, and so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Now that Vlad was in power, the first thing on his agenda was not to seek cold-blood revenge on the ruling families who portrayed his own. Nay. It was to build a new castle in the mountains of Transylvania that bordered Wallachia. It was a great vantage point strategically for war. You could see for miles, and it was great real estate. But he had to find someone to build it first. So he requested his spies to seek out the nobles who betrayed his family, and then decided to invite them over to have them help build his new home. A large feast was prepared for his guests. Everyone was happy and congratulating Vlad on his success. And instead of asking for funds or building supplies to create his desired structure, Vlad decided to show them his appreciation for betraying his family by capturing the nobles, impaling the weakest among them, and forcing the rest to build his new castle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, buddy! And then once they were all finished, he had the rest of them executed.
That's so metal.
I know, right?
Oh, fuck, that's fucked. That's what you got for betraying the son of the dragon.
I know. I'm not saying Vlad was right, but I am saying he knows how to drop the mic. That's all. That's my point that I'm trying to make.
He knows how to get revenge.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Oh, he was 100% a Scorpio. There's no way.
For sure. Yeah. No. Mm-hmm. We've figured it out. Vlad was a Scorpio. Thank you. He was born in the beginning of November sometime.
seems like a November 13th type of guy.
Oh, God bless. God bless. That's what I'm going to say, and I will fight any historian that says otherwise. Thank you very much.
Historians, what do you know? College degree my ass. I'm just kidding.
Right? So even though that was like a really badass like story, or like I wouldn't say story, but situation, Vlad was also kind of an asshole. He did enforce a strict moral code, and any rule breaking meant death in the most horrible way possible. For example, Vlad despised beggars because he thought that they labored off the backs of others morally. He thought it was a moral dilemma. So it is said that Vlad once invited all of the beggars in Wallachia to feast in a great hall in the middle of the woods. And once they had gorged themselves on the meal, he ordered the doors to be bolted shut and set the hall on fire and declared to have ridded the country of poverty. Yeah,
what?
This dude was brutal. So that's a story that occurred. I don't know if that's historically accurate, but that is something it is said that Vlad did. So he also did not, he also had a problem with like women's virginity. Like, even though that's a make-believe concept to begin with, he thought that if a woman,
if she didn't
had
bleed?
sex before, no, if she had sex before marriage, that was like super immoral. And so that was like super horrendous. I don't want to get into it, but there was impalement and stuff. So just
Were
horrendous
they
things
impaled
occurred.
from the vagine?
Yeah.
From the vagine?
Yeah. Uh-huh. You guessed it.
You're
Congratulations.
telling me, thank you. God, I hate that I imagined that. You're telling me that killing a bunch of people isn't immoral, but a woman unlikely being a non-virgin gets impaled by the vagine and is super immoral.
Yeah.
Vlad,
and then her breast,
honey.
oh, for
wait,
sure.
what?
Yeah, and then her breasts are cut off, and then the person that she had sex with is forced to eat it, and then he's killed. Yeah, that was also a fun time. Yeah, so like I said, sometimes he's cool, and other times he's really not cool.
I hate that.
Yeah. So you're like, come on, Vlad.
Okay.
Yeah, incredibly divisive character in history. Sorry to make everybody uncomfortable, but we can swing it back around and turn and talk more about like I don't know, conquering an empire.
Yeah,
Does
let's
sound
do that.
More fun? Okay, cool. Thank you. In 1460, Pope Pius II called for a new crusade to reclaim Constantinople. Matthias Corvinus, the son of John Hunyadi, was to lead this 3-year expedition and was touring various kingdoms seeking support. Every single kingdom turned him down, except one. Any guesses?
Was it Wallachia?
Yeah, that's right, baby. Vlad was out and he was ready for blood. He was so excited at the opportunity to tackle some
Turks?
Bloodshed. Yeah, and just to fight some Turks. Yeah, that Vlad and Matthias decided to team up and take down the Ottoman Empire together. So now for the ruthless war strategies and mass impalements that everyone has been waiting for.
Yes.
Thank you.
I
know.
I'm pumped.
Oh, God, I know. This is, oh, God, it gets so brutal. So buckle up. Oh, it's so much fun. So. So here's the sitch. 1461 was a big year. The Turks had captured Greece by spring. Wallachia was their next target. Thinking Vlad would surrender, the Sultan sent an envoy to Wallachia demanding Vlad pay 10,000 ducats and 500 soldiers to the Ottoman Empire because we're bigger than you and we're taking your lunch money.
Yeah, but
the Sultan,
he has
however,
a giant fucking castle on a hill. How are you gonna? How? How do they expect to do that?
Just by sheer force and numbers.
What I'm imagining is what they built for the castle. There's a castle up here. If it's like Castlevania, there's a castle up here. It's like one way up, one way down, right? So it's going to be maybe like 2 or 3 soldiers in a row. And then just a long line of soldiers. They're just going to kill them as they come up. The Ottomans are stupid.
Yeah. That is actually a really good point because the advantage the terrain or environment advantage definitely was on Vlad's side. However, the Ottomans outnumbered Vlad by like double, like tenfold.
Right.
Yeah, it was just massive numbers.
Okay.
We're talking like hundreds of thousands versus like maybe 30,000. So yeah, if it was
so
like
they're
maybe like a
definitely
maybe
taking their lunch money.
yeah, they're definitely here to take your lunch money, and they're not afraid to use force, and that's what they're coming to Vlad to say, essentially.
Great.
Yeah. And also the Sultan knew, speaking of which, the Sultan knew Vlad and Matthias this was a new crusade and they lacked the support, hence why they didn't have a lot of
Soldiers.
Reinforcements to back them up against the Ottoman Empire. And so the Sultan assumed that it was going to be an easy win. But oh baby, the issue about assuming is you make an ass out of you and me. And I digress. So when they arrived, the Turkish envoy refused to remove their turbans out of respect. So Vlad, being the nice guy and gracious host that he was, had nails driven into their heads to permanently secure their headwear to their skulls. Yeah. Turns out Vlad had a too much gene. Yeah, and that too much gene was unfortunately pointed in the direction of torture. It was great. It was a fun time. So,
Jesus Christ.
The Sultan was understandably mad and sent his army to kill Vlad. In response, Vlad had his army capture and kill any Turk that they found and had them impaled on hot iron spikes. The fighting raged on into late 1461. Too much time, energy, and blood had been spent, and it was time for the scorched earth policy to kick in. So when Vlad knew exactly how to take out his enemy. Remember, Vlad was raised in the Ottoman Empire as a child and knew their customs well. In order to gain access to the Turkish cities, he would travel with a small convoy, charm the guards at the gate, secure a defensive position inside the city, and ambush the guards from within as his army swarmed the gates outside.
Oh, shit. Oh,
yeah.
They're fucked.
And he rinsed and repeated this strategy for miles. Every Turkish man, woman, and child was unfortunately taken out. They were either, if they weren't killed in battle, they were impaled later. It was super brutal, but hey, that's a scorched earth policy for you. Ooh, and it's pretty bad. But this was a very successful strategy, for in a mere 2 weeks, Vlad had conquered 500 miles, killing nearly 23,000 Turks in the process. And mind you, his army was about 30,000 people strong, which was insane to think about.
And he took out many cities?
Yeah, and covered that much ground in 2 weeks with only 30,000 men. Yep.
You see, Putin should have taken a page out of his book. Don't give him any ideas.
Don't give him ideas.
Putin, don't you dare.
See, you gotta kill your enemy from the inside out. That's why you gotta know him. That's why you gotta know your enemy inside and out. That is a good thing to take from Vlad's strategy book. Yeah. So by early 1462, Vlad garnered a heroic reputation in Europe. Even the Pope was shouting his name from the rooftops. Everyone loved him.
I can see the Pope just like waving his little stole. Is that what it's called? He's like, Vlad!
Above his head? Yeah! He goes, oh. Shaking his little Pope hat around. Oh, I love it. Yeah, everyone was like wilding out because we're like, yay, we're winning.
Yeah.
For once. Oh, God. There's hope.
There's hope.
So at this point, you can understand the Sultan was pissed. He then ordered all of his army out of Greece, which they had just conquered the year beforehand, to then march all the way up to Vlad and his Transylvania stronghold with the sole mission of finding and killing Vlad Dracula.
So They completely evacuated Greece. Isn't that just giving up their territory?
Yeah, they gave up an entire territory stance just to kill this one man. They pulled so many resources to give up just to take down Vlad. That's how pissed off they were. And remember, the Sultan knew Vlad well because he was the one that...
Did Vlad single-handedly take out the Ottoman Empire?
Not really.
Okay.
But he did definitely garner a huge reputation of telling them, you can't come over here.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah, he does. Exactly. He did give him a really big middle finger at the end of the day.
Okay.
So to make things extra spicy, now that the Sultan was super pissed off, he decided to bring along Vlad's younger brother, Radu. Yeah. So if you remember, Radu converted to Islam when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
He drank the Kool-Aid long ago and assimilated into the Ottoman Empire. The Sultan promised Radu the Wallachian kingdom after the 150,000 strong Turkish army took down Vlad and his army of 30,000 men. So
that's 5 times as many soldiers.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Think about it.
Okay.
How in the world does Vlad stand a chance? Well, if you're in a shithole, you might as well get down and dirty. And Vlad indeed did take... wait. Okay. And Vlad did just that. He needed to take out as many of Turkish soldiers as he possibly could before they reached his castle in Transylvania.
Yeah.
He expanded his scorched earth policy to include guerrilla war tactics, poisoning drinking wells, destroying crop supplies, whatever which way you can think of it, Vlad did it, all the while impaling every single Turk he found along the way.
Holy shit.
He even used biological warfare. 3 words, baby. Bubonic plague blankets.
Oh, that's not good. Isn't that going to affect his citizens too, though?
Probably, but he didn't give a shit.
Shit.
Yeah, he was using the blankets that his soldiers got sick from and giving them like shipping them back into like the Ottoman supply chain and like marketing them through the different cities. So then like the whole city would be infected and then more susceptible to an attack. Yeah, like it was brutal.
I'm at a loss for words.
I know. It's insane, the tactics.
Shit.
Yeah, it just pocket sand tactics the entire way. So Vlad did successfully slow the army down and took out many troops in the process. However, his enemies slowly marched their way north and eventually surrounded Vlad and his remaining 24,000 troops in his castle. With his castle surrounded, Vlad decided to play a bold move. Disguising himself in Turkish attire, Vlad slipped into the enemy encampments. During this spy mission, he found the Sultan's tent and learned that the Sultan had ordered his troops into their tents at night to prevent panic in the event of a night raid. Vlad returned home where he devised a sneak attack on the Sultan.
Oh.
Vlad's goal was to surprise the Sultan in his tent and plunge a knife into his heart.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my god. He went into like Mission Impossible mode.
Like that.
Just to do some like recon stuff.
Oh shit.
On the night of June 17th, 1462, Vlad attacked the same encampment where he had spotted the Sultan several nights prior. His troops decimated the camp, but the Sultan was nowhere to be found.
Oh.
Yeah, he had already booked it. Within 1 hour, 15,000 Turkish troops were gone, versus only 5,000 of Vlad's men. Yeah, they got him good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like whatever turn the Sultan did, Vlad was always like one step ahead of them, and they just used like a sneak attack, guerrilla war tactics to their advantage.
They
to take
fucked
down
up by giving him so much, like, because they taught him warfare.
Yeah, they taught him everything he knew.
Damn, that's
they were using
fucked.
Yeah, he was using their own like strategies and culture against them in order to win. It's like insane to think about.
Wow.
So after this, the Sultan retreated with his tail between his legs back to the capital city of Targovishta? Targovishta? Targovishta.
Tragovishta?
Something like that.
Yeah, who knows?
When the Turks arrived at the abandoned city, they found the remains of 20,000 impaled Turkish soldiers killed in previous fights. Just a little signature gift from Vlad in the future.
So these
from the
Turks
past,
that are returning back to the cities are the same Turks that went up from Greece, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then those people that they found, was it impaled? Yeah, impaled. Those are the people that Vlad had schmoozed beforehand, right? And had infiltrated from the inside, and then his troops were coming out from the outside.
Yep.
Oh,
yep. All these were his prior.
Fucked.
Yep. All these people that the Sultan's witnessing that are impaled are people that Vlad had killed prior in his campaign against the Turks. Yeah.
I hate him, but I love him.
I know. It's like wherever the Turkish people, like wherever like the Ottomans go, they're just always met by like Vlad and his like remnants of their soldiers' bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane.
Wow. Okay. Oh, let's
yeah,
keep going.
he was like he was like such like a sneaky little thing.
Yeah.
Radu was then put in charge of the territory. Radu then marched his troops up to a castle outside of the city, which Vlad owned. Legend has it that Vlad's wife, who was in the castle at the time, vowed to feed herself to the fishes instead of being captured by the enemy, thus jumping out from I don't know, a highest window and falling to her death. And this is the legend that plays into Bram Stoker's Dracula story.
Did they have piranhas? Piranha.
Oh no, that's just like the.
Oh, that's just a story.
Know, is it a?
Oh
yeah. Though is that just a metaphor of just like we'll feed you to the fishes? Or
oh
whatever.
man,
yeah,
I took it literally. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, she wants to be eaten by piranhas. All right. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No, she fell to her death. Legend has it, and this is where the story of Dracula comes into play, like Bram Stoker's Dracula with Elizabeth.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where that gets tied into.
Art is lucrative.
So, very true. At this point, Vlad needed help. He was able to push back the Turkish advancement, but not without heavy losses. So he turned back to his friend Matthias Corvinus. I always forget Corvinus. Thank you. I always forget how to say his name. So then he turned back to his friend Matthias Corvinus, now king of Hungary.
Ooh,
Matthias, yeah, he like upgraded himself. But also it turns out Matthias kind of had a complex, an ego complex of himself.
I believe it.
So, yeah, I think everyone in power at that time, I think everyone in power does, but especially during then, because you can get away with literally whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matthias wanted to become a Holy Roman Emperor and knew that the hostile situation with the Turks needed to stop in order for that to happen. So, he essentially wanted to be like the ruler of like the New World Kingdom. Vlad, however, wanted more blood. This is the most agreed upon reasoning for the upcoming betrayal.
Oh.
But Vlad ended up becoming a prisoner in Matthias's kingdom for 4 years. Yeah, he had him arrested. Yeah. So not only did he just successfully claim 500 miles of territory for you and killed and slaughtered a bunch of Turks, but now they're arresting him because they don't want him fighting anymore.
You pissed off the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. They were looking at him like he was like a ravaged dog or whatever it is. Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Not good.
In the 4 years as a prisoner in Matthias' kingdom, Vlad converted to Catholicism and ended up marrying Matthias' cousin under the agreement that Vlad would never return to Wallachia and he would give up his quest for the crown. Yeah, sure. Didn't happen because we all know Vlad and his family values. So Vlad agreed to the deal and then immediately broke the deal, built a weak, tiny army made out of like a bunch of random people that he found that were just like pissed off and wanted to fight. He then reclaimed Wallachia to then be instantly overthrown by the Turks.
Huh.
Yeah. He was just like, yeah. It's like he went from like a really cool like war hero to now just like essentially a dog that has balls cut off and it's just told like, no, you can't bite anybody anymore. And he kept trying to bite people.
I just want to give a huge old middle finger to Matthias. Like, fuck you. He did all of that for you. Granted, he was brutal, but he did all of that for you. If it wasn't for him, the Turks would have like overrun your kingdom.
Exactly.
That's so rude.
And it's all because he just wanted to have Wallachia back. Like he just wanted to like have his own territory back. But I think what was occurring is he was too much of a divisive figure, and giving him a place in power meant that there was never going to be peace between the two kingdoms. And Matthias being the wannabe, I don't know, Roman emperor in his mind that he thought, he was just like, hey, we'll just take him out. We'll take Vlad out of the picture and then no one will have to worry about anything anymore. And we can have peace between the kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's what happened. Most scholars believe that Vlad was killed while fighting in early 1477. His head was sent back to Constantinople, where it was preserved in honey for everyone to see that the Impaler was once and for all dead.
Honey preserves things?
Yeah.
Watch it be like at the Smithsonian Museum or some shit.
For sure, dude. Oh man, think about it. That'd be really cool. I doubt, but if it is, I hope it's on display somewhere because I want to know what Vlad the Impaler looked like. You know? Think about it.
I hope he looked like a vampire.
I know. I hope he looked cool. But even today, Vlad's brutal legacy lives on 600 years later. An estimation of his execution victims are as such. And remember, this is an estimation, so keep that in mind. And this is also what I was able to find based on historical resources. So, out of all of his killings, or victims of execution, 20,000 were from impalement, 5,000 were beheaded, 10,000 were burnt at the stake, 10 Turks had their nails driven into their heads, and at least one person was boiled alive and then cannibalized.
What?
Yeah, there was that too.
He was a cannibal?
No, he didn't eat them, but the story went that there was a noble family that essentially pissed him off, and so he killed one of their. Sorry, this is brutal. Just a warning. He killed one of their kids and then forced the entire family to like eat the body. Yeah. Oh, by the way, he boiled him alive, so there was that too.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it was like super brutal. This man did not play around. Yeah, it's a great time. Though he was a brutal leader and a feared warrior, in Romania, he is still viewed as an important national hero who stood up to the Ottoman Empire, even when no one else would. And that is the true story of Dracula.
Holy shit.
Right?
Thank you so much for putting that together.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for appreciating this story, because it's a wild one. It truly is.
I think this is our best episode to date. This
is sick. Thank you.
This story I had, and listeners, please tell me if you have also never heard this. I didn't know this. Like at all. All I know about Vlad is what I said in the beginning, and that he was probably like the inspiration behind Dracula.
Yep.
Oh, he's so metal. Yeah. He is so metal.
Yeah. I know he's so brutal, but man.
Fuck. Impaling women by their vagines.
Yeah, I know. I hate that. So, ugh.
I hate that.
And there's so there's so many stories that I left out because a lot of them seemed like they were just like historical BS, kind of like
Madame Delphine
LaLaurie.
Lalaurie. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Vlad's insane.
Yeah.
He's incredibly brutal.
I'm at a loss for words. I love him and I hate him at the same time. It's just he's, like you said, he's a very divisive figure. Like wow.
Yeah, many times during my notes, I found myself rooting for him and then immediately shouting many obscenities his way. Like, yeah, in like a paragraph right after. I was like, oh, come on. Like, you were so cool. I had your back and now you're doing this bullshit? Okay.
Yeah. It's like a good TV drama.
True.
Wow. I mean, amazing job laying this out. Like, just the backstory and the betrayals and his death. It's cool to see how he went from basically almost single-handedly overturning the Ottoman Empire. Like, all of the shit he did where he like went behind their backs, like when they were coming back from Greece, like he made them pull out of Greece just to hunt him down. Like,
the Sultan completely said, no more resources. We're diverting my attention from Greece and focusing only on this one single person.
And then to being just killed like that, like it was nothing.
Yeah, just being portrayed by like literally everyone around you and essentially falling victim just as your father had done. Because if I remember correctly in my notes, Matthias was the king of Hungary.
Yeah.
His father fell victim to the Hungarian army before him.
And it was person that he studied under, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was Matthias's dad who betrayed Vlad's dad, and then history repeated itself again. And Matthias betrayed Vlad. Yeah, it was just like one betrayal after another.
That's why history is important, kids.
So much. Yeah. You'll learn from past mistakes.
Yes. Wow.
It's ridiculous. And there's so much detail, especially with like different like battles that I didn't get into that I would have loved to sit down, but I had to cut for time. They were great. It's actually, fun facts, it's thought that Vlad the Impaler was the first person to use gunpowder in battle, in war.
Really? Yeah,
there was a one of the battles against the Turks, they had used it to their advantage, and I forget how the story went, but yeah, he's like credited for being like the first person to use gunpowder in battle.
Wow.
Which was insane. Yeah, he was top dog of a lot of things.
Yeah, he's like he's innovative, he's brutal, he's resourceful, he fucking wild,
wicked smart, intelligent.
Smart. Yes, very well studied.
He understands how to like use people like and their culture against them. It's just so insane. Like, I hate him so much.
Yeah.
He's really cool.
Wow. Well,
yeah, I'm like, the more I'm reading about him, I'm like, I give him one thing. He might have been an asshole sometimes, but he really did stick to his guns. If he wanted something done, he did get it done, and he was a fighter and a fierce warrior at that. And so I say hats off to you, Vlad. You have my respect. And I'm not, like I said before earlier in the episode, I'm not necessarily agreeing or saying that I like him, but he does know how to drop the mic, and I appreciate that. Yeah. And so hats off to you, good sir.
Tipping my hat to you, Vlad Dracul.
For sure.
Well, shit. Yeah. Well,
for sure.
If you guys want to learn some additional facts about this, be sure to catch us at our next stream. Wonderful. Yeah. So if you guys want to learn more about this topic, we'll have some additional fun facts for you at our stream on November 27th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll have 2 juicy stories for you at that time. We're not giving you the theme yet because we don't have it, but we're not telling you that.
But you don't know anything.
You don't know anything. We'll have 2 juicy stories for you at that time. And, you know, if you're unable to catch the stream, you'll be able to catch the episodes later on. But if you want to hear those 2 episodes together, then definitely catch the stream at that date. And then as far as the extra facts regarding the story and all other stories from November go, if you don't hear them on stream, then you can catch them on our Patreon. So be sure to sign up if you'd like to support us. But aside from that, thank you so much for listening to our creepy stories and wild speculations. This has been the Dark by Design podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow for more monstrous episodes released every Monday at midnight. You can find more information about today's topic on the show's website at www.darkbydesignpodcast.com or on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at darkbydesign_podcast. Listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming site or watch the show on our YouTube channel. And just remember, like always, we want to hear from you too. So remember that this is a 2-way relationship. If you have a creepy encounter, a ghost story, or a personal true crime story that you'd like to share with your fellow Coven members, DM us your story on our socials, or preferably email us at darkbydesignpodcast@gmail.com. And just go ahead and drop listener story in the topic. And I think that's it. Let's see. How do we usually end this? With a song?
Sure. Want to do so? Oh yeah, you've been singing.
I have been singing. I forgot what I was singing though. You know what?
Oh, dang.
Bye, friends.
Okay, we'll see ya.
The world's most shocking monster. Never have you known such cringing terror, such sudden shock.